Now is the time for us to model being brave rather than staying silent and hoping things will be okay.
Portland City Council passes 2 proposals that they say will protect protesters from immigration and federal officers. Coming up, we're going to break down what exactly these proposals mean. And later,
They roughed us up. They slammed me against a grate.
This morning, we're hearing from a Portland man who was detained by the Israeli military after joining a humanitarian mission to Gaza. Why he says the journey was still worth it now that he's back home. Coming up.
and we're playing a little game of Goodwill costume hunting this morning on the Sunrise Show. You recognize that Sunrise reporter? There's Corey Johnson swimming through the aisles at the Goodwill Superstore in Southeast Portland. What's up, Shark Girl? She's a shark-dressed woman on the Sunrise Show.
Oh, good one.
This morning. Yeah, thank you.
Good one.
All right, more from Corey on how you can find an affordable and fun Halloween costume this year coming up here in the 6 o'clock hour of Sunrise.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Thursday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. You want to see what Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill are dressed as? Yeah, Chris is dressed as the traffic reporter. There's Rod, dressed as your weatherman. Weatherman, what's the forecast?
Gotta give Corey A for effort, though, right? I was like, what's she doing? And the producer's like, she's swimming. I'm like, oh,
baby
yeah.
shark.
Okay, all right. Here's our visibility map. The one thing we're watching this morning is potential fog development. So far, not a lot, but watching Washington County, where visibility's now less than perfect, down to 7 miles. Otherwise, it's pretty much just twinkling stars out there currently, but that could change. I do expect increasing fog pockets in the coming hours. Looking at our state capital, 39 degrees for you folks down in Salem, so it is another chilly morning. Blue skies over Portland and another chilly start at 41 degrees. So pretty good jacket or warm coat at the bus stop this morning. Should be a mix of fog or just clear spots. Sun up 729. We will see some increasing cloudiness, but overall still partly cloudy this afternoon. Not much wind, around 60 degrees when the kids get out of school, so pretty nice. Here's Chris.
Much wind to spray that drive left or right. All right, that's good. Rodney, let's get you out to the Banfield. Interstate 84 out near Providence Medical Center. We had a disabled vehicle there a couple of minutes ago. That's out of the way now. I-5 through Wilsonville, traffic zipping along. The headlights in that shot. That's your southbound commute. That looks pretty good. And door number 3 will switch gears and take you over to the Sylvan Hill. Again, pretty light out there as we hit 6 o'clock on the dot. So, guys, right now, as expected, the speed limit commutes for everybody. We'll keep you posted as that changes.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story here at 6 o'clock. Portland city officials are pushing back against the Trump administration's immigration policies.
Yeah, at a council meeting last night, city leaders approved 2 measures that they say are designed to protect residents from immigration officers. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from City Hall this morning. So, Thomas, let's talk about what exactly these measures mean.
Yeah, well, guys, the first initiative is called the Protect Portland Initiative, and it denounces President Trump's plan to push for federal troops here in Portland. It also puts frameworks in place to respond to federal overreach. The second codifies Portland as a sanctuary city. Under these ideas, the city would try to determine how the federal government is enforcing President Trump's policies and see if they're surveilling Portlanders. The city will also create a rapid response plan for immigration raids and create an information hub with resources for residents concerned about the impact of federal immigration enforcement. Citizens can also report federal officer violations to the city.
Now is the time for us to model being brave rather than staying silent and hoping things will be okay.
As leaders, I believe it is incumbent upon us to use every single tool we have to stand up for our community.
The vote last night comes as President Trump has pushed to send National Guard troops to Portland for weeks. He says those are to protect federal buildings like the ICE facility, which Trump officials say are under threat. The plan to send in troops has been tied up by the court system. We're still waiting on a ruling from the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals about that. Though at the city council meeting, around 70 citizens in Portland got up and spoke, many of them very much in favor of these 2 measures passed by the city council. Drew, China.
Thank you, Thomas. Meantime, a federal judge has extended her order that temporarily blocked President Donald Trump from deploying the National Guard to Portland. Judge Karen Emerget's restraining order was set to expire this week, but will now remain in place for another 2 weeks. This comes as we await a ruling from the 9th Circuit Court, which heard an appeal by the federal government around Emerget's decision last week.
A Southeast Portland standoff that lasted more than 3 hours left an armed suspect with life-threatening injuries. Police say the man refused to come out of a garage in the Brentwood-Darlington neighborhood near Southeast 72nd and Sherritt. Officers were helping U.S. Marshals serve a warrant on the suspect. They deployed gas to try and get him out of that garage, and at some point they say the man started shooting. When officers finally got inside the garage, they found the man had shot himself and he was taken to the hospital. Police say the officers did not fire any shots. A reminder this morning, if you or someone you know is struggling, help is available 24/7 by calling 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
New this morning, Gresham and Portland police were on the scene of a crash overnight. This was on Southeast Stark and 153rd. We don't know what led up to the crash, but we reached out to the Gresham police for more information.
A group of 135 legacy health workers voted to authorize a strike. So this group includes physician associates, nurse practitioners, and clinical nurse specialists. They say one of the key issues here is uncompensated work. Their union says workers often perform unpaid tasks that are essential to patient care. Legacy Health told KGW it will continue to engage in good faith bargaining with those workers. Meanwhile, roughly 4,000 local Kaiser healthcare workers continue their strike this week. They walked off the job on Tuesday and plan to continue striking until Sunday. They're pushing for better salaries and better staffing. Talking baseball now, the Mariners and Blue Jays will play Game 4 of the American League Championship Series tonight in Seattle as the M's look to bounce back from Game 3 last night. Things started off well in that Game 3 contest. Julio Rodriguez with the 2-run homer a moment ago, but it was all downhill from there. Toronto scored 5 times in the 3rd inning alone. They had 18 hits. The Jays wound up winning 13-4, but keep in mind, this is only one game. No need to worry. You have to win 4 games to advance to the World Series, of course, and Mariners fans at the game last night say they are still optimistic.
I think we'll be all right. I mean, look how we played in Toronto the last 2 games, and you know, this is them coming off a day of rest, coming over to Seattle too, though. You know, I'm pretty excited for what we have as, you know, a Mariners team. I mean, just for it being the ALCS is pretty cool, and just for the chance to play for the World Series is awesome. So I'm pretty, you know, I'm still pretty optimistic. We're still up 2-1, so that's good.
Seattle leads the best-of-7 series 2-1. Game 4 is tonight. Game 5 is tomorrow, both at T-Mobile Park, so the Mariners still have a chance to clinch a berth in the World Series at home.
Bella Organic, a family farm on Sauvie Island, has just unveiled this year's corn maze theme as human rights for all. Bella says that message stays true to the farm's roots. The family says the farm was founded by an immigrant more than 40 years ago and that it is still run with the same sense of love and purpose.
All right, Rod, that brings us to our dog of the day, or dogs of the day. What do you got?
All right, here's Bella and Buddy, Halloween theme, sticking with the pumpkin patch, dressed up as pumpkins. These 2 doggies are from Bella Organic Farms. And, well, everybody's thinking the one on the left is happier to be dressed as a pumpkin than the one on the right, but who knows? Who knows? Really cute picture there. Dog of the day at KGW.com is the email address. Send us your dog's photos with their names, and your dogs will become our dog of the day. All right, here's the Vancouver, the Springs at the Waterfront camera. Beautiful shot. You can see maybe a little ribbon of some low-hanging cloudiness that's developed as you look along the Columbia. Winds are light to calm all areas, and it is chilly again this morning. Down to 38 degrees right now at Pearson Airfield in Vancouver. There you can see it. It's 43 literally just across the river at PDX. We're starting to see the visibility decline somewhat out on the west side where it's 30s. Tigert, Sherwood, Beaverton, Hillsborough 37, and Forest Grove at 38. We've seen some fog pockets around McMinnville where it's 37. So far, Salem is reporting clear in 39, but it's 6:09. And between now and 8 o'clock this morning, I think we will see increasing fog pockets around the area. So we'll see what we end up with. Other than that, it'll be a sunny start, and then we see increasing cloudiness. I don't think we just become cloudy, but increasing cloudiness during the day. So all in all, it's really going to be a pretty nice Thursday, with temperatures getting back up to around 60 degrees or slightly warmer from Kelso down to Eugene, about 60 to maybe upper 50s at the beach. Warmest day of the week so far in Central Oregon. This will be clear skies, and Bend gets up to 63 if you're going to be in that area. Beautiful, beautiful day coming up. All right, Portland. Maybe we get some sprinkles or trace rain overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. But basically, we're dry through the day Saturday with the rain coming in Saturday night. Now it looks like the evening is dry, but Saturday overnight into Sunday morning. That's rain to showers. I keep a lingering shower threat into Monday morning, but now I have dried the forecast Monday afternoon. We're all dry Tuesday, we're all dry Wednesday, and that is your 7 day on a Thursday.
All right, thank you, Rod.